Hey guys, welcome back. Let's see what we got. Now, if you have any questions about the actual soap making process, as always, feel free to comment. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Let's see what we got here. Soap. So, if you don't have one of these molds, that's okay. At this point, it's pretty well cured. To the point where it's not dangerous to touch or to get on your skin, but you can see that. All right, so if you don't have one of these molds, you can get just like a bread pan and line it with saran wrap, you know, like your little plastic wrap over here. Try not to look at my mess, my nest over there, but you just take that and line a bread pan, and then you can pour your stuff in there and then take it out pretty easy. What you can do is put it in your bread pan and then fill it with water, and that way you can get all the wrinkles out in case you're concerned about prettiness. I'm kind of 80% functionality, 20% cosmetics is my style. I also keep smaller containers. I think you might have noticed it last night. It's actually an ice tray just to pour it in and make smaller little bars. Now you can see how it's kind of bowed out. You know, I put it in too small of a pan. I should have put it in a bigger pan. No big deal though, it's all still there. All those shavings, and I'll probably take a good portion of this and shave it down and then melt it. And I'll show you guys how to do that. So you can make liquid dish soap. But this is good for dish soap, hand soap, bath soap. This is good soap. But it's not done. It's still going through the process. It's going to continue to cure for about the next 2 to 3 weeks. Oh yeah. And I mean, look, just that little bit that I got on my fingers, focus. It's so good, and it really makes your skin soft, but it's not quite ready to use. So what I'm going to do is show you how to cut it and store it. Obviously there's many ways to do this. This is just the way that I do it. So one thing that we didn't do last night, and I just don't, because I don't have a whole lot of extra towels, I just don't make those kinds of investments, I just slide mine in the oven. But you want to give that soap an opportunity to stay warm, so I figured just the oven's a pretty good place to do that. Yeah, but if you want to wrap your stuff up in towels, if you don't have a special room just for this, that you don't keep air conditioned, you can just use your oven if you don't have plans for it that night. These come in real handy. They're cheap, dirt cheap. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Walmart. It's just the little, what do they call it? Needle point. So you put your fabric on there and you run the needles through the squares, and that's what it is. That's not what we use it for. So I just take a piece and I cut it to fit in a box, any box. See that? That just allows the air to get under it a little bit so it can cure. Talked about knife sharpening the other day. You really don't need a sharp blade for this. Actually, I could do it with a butter knife, but I just kind of want some clean cuts. And I don't mind dulling the blade because I know how to sharpen it. So if I want my bars, I'm going to try to do all these about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, because you know how soap does. It gets small, gets worn out. But just to show you how soft it is, we'll use a butter knife just so you can see. See that? So in about 2 to 3 weeks time, this soap will be done with the curing process, and then it'll be hard like a bar of soap. Some rain coming in. Here it comes. Awesome. I didn't think it was going to rain out here today. It's weird. We drove through some coming in, but sometimes we can be surrounded by rain and we don't get any out here. So I run soaker hoses out in my garden. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to get all your pieces cut to what you want them to be during this part of the process, because after it's finished curing, obviously it gets a lot harder, a lot denser, but it's still going through that chemical curing process. That lye is interacting with that fat and those other herbal ingredients that we pulled out of the garden. Now the next one I do will be for you ladies. Hi. We'll get some lavender and some other flowers and everything. I'll show you guys that when the time comes. We might even do some goat's milk. So if I wasn't expecting on having kids, but one of my does produced twice this year, which is unusual. But you know, that's a good story though, you know, the fruits of my labor helps me feel good that the things that I'm doing are not in vain. All right, so I'll just take these, cut them right down the middle. And I know some of you ladies that have your shops in town, I'll bring you some of this, but this isn't really going to be your top seller. This is more for, you know, your outdoorsy types, you know, which I know we have a lot of those around here. And I know that includes a lot of you ladies. So, you know, who knows, you might like this. All right, so those are about the bars that I want. And I'll probably just take one of these, excuse me, and just run it through like a grater. And that's how I'll make my liquid soap. All right, so when you're doing these, to set them up to cure, you want to stand them upright. Don't lay them down on their sides. They just, I mean, it'll still cure, it'll still get done, it just won't happen as fast. I know naturally you just want to throw them down on their sides so they'll be more stable. And that makes sense, but, you know, duly noted, yeah? Just get them all in here. One way or another. All right, so now we'll close it up. It is the 15th of August, 2021. So I'll pull those in about 21 days and then they'll be ready for use. And hey guys, I know you got busy schedules, so I appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos and I hope it's helpful. I didn't really put this out, but I do requests. And so I've got more videos just from you guys seeking information. And so if it can make it easier on you, I know it's, you know, doing the research and scrolling through all that stuff. It takes time, and reading the books, it takes time, you know. And so maybe I can save you some time, you know. So, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, stay tuned, more to follow. Stay salty.